Hi, this is Yvonne McNary, and I'm here at the Extension office with Joyce and Melody. And we've been talking about the school year. School year is just about over. It's been a long one. It was cold this year, and there were a lot of events going on, a lot of things with our teachers and with our parents and with our kids. School is just about out, but they're still busy. They're just as busy at the end of the school year as they are at the first of the school year. So we want to give them their props for that and for doing such a great job. And we're talking about our favorite teacher. Now, who was your favorite teacher?
Mrs. Miller. She was at Glasscock Elementary and she taught me in the third grade.
Third grade, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What did she teach? Did she teach everything?
Yes.
All the different
Yes.
classes?
Yes.
Okay.
And in the afternoon, she would read us the Laura Ingalls Wilder books.
Oh.
She was a very sweet lady.
Uh-huh. Oh wow. How many kids were in your class?
Oh gosh, Yvonne, I don't know.
Was it a big class, or compared to today's classes, was it larger or smaller, do you think?
I'd say probably about the same,
About the
if I
same.
had to guess. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what'd you guys do for lunch? Did you bring your lunches, or did you have a cafeteria?
No, we had a cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, wow. So, did you have a good time in third grade?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. And over here with Joyce. Now, Joyce, I know you didn't go to school here in Marion County.
No, I didn't. I'm from Illinois, and I went to parochial school, and my favorite teacher was my fifth grade teacher. She was sweet. She was very kind. And on our lunch hour, we did have a cafeteria, and we could bring our lunch, eat at the cafeteria, or go home because we had our lunchtime, and I only lived a block away. So we'd run home, and my mom would have everything all set out for us.
Wow.
So
So, how do you think she contributed to who you are today?
she taught me respect, and I think we're really missing that now. We don't have any. The nuns back then used to have those pointers to point out what they were talking about on the blackboard, and if you didn't pay attention, you got that right across your hand, the top of your hand. So I never did get it, but it was mostly the boys. But whether you call it fear or respect, that's what we had. And it was really a fun time in that school.
Fun time,
I miss
okay.
it.
Fantastic. And I forgot to ask you, how do you think that her class what its effect was on your life? Listening to her read in the afternoon.
Yes. Yes. She was just she just showed kindness. She was a kind, sweet lady.
Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, thank you both for talking to us and for giving those kudos out to those teachers out there.
Absolutely. We both have
Yes.
children that are teachers,
Uh-huh.
they're grown-ups now.
Uh-huh. They're teachers. And,
Yes.
and you do too.
Yeah. Got 3.
3 teachers. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, kudos to the teachers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
Thank you both for talking to me.
Thank you.
This is Yvonne, and I'm at the Marion County Public Library, and I'm with Jama. How you doing, Jama?
Doing okay.
Okay. And we're still talking about those wonderful school teachers out there. And your favorite teacher was?
So my favorite teacher from elementary school was Miss Cobb Flash. I had her at Eminence Independent Schools in first grade, but then later on she actually moved up, and I had her for fifth and sixth grade as well.
Wow. I had a situation similar to that as well. I didn't know that it was that common for teachers to move around that much.
Well, Eminence is a small school. It's like K through 12, 500 students. So it's a small school.
Okay. Now, what kind of things did you learn with her?
Miss Cobb Flash, she really taught me about caring about students. I had my first public meltdown with Miss Cobb Flash.
Okay.
And it was her caring. I mean, she could be hard, but Miss Cobb Flash was just a wonderful, caring, and generous person. And I actually remained friends with her after leaving school.
Fantastic. And what type of effect do you think she had on your life?
I think all my teachers just really positively affected me. She was just one of those. It was small classrooms, and she knew something about every student and worked with the students. And she was just a wonderful person.
Okay. Now, you're very artistic. Was she able to see that in you?
Well, we were lucky. We had a really great art teacher in Mr. Johnson, who taught actually K through 12, all of us. So we were lucky in that aspect. So, I mean, every week we had art and we had music. And so,
Back in the good old days.
back in the good old days.
Well, listen, thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, I am with Amy. How you doing, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And we're talking about our favorite teachers today. Did you have one in mind?
I do actually. I have a lot, but the very first that I remember distinctly is Mrs. Jones. And I actually grew up in Mercer County, so nobody knows who Mrs. Jones is besides me. But she was my first grade teacher and incredibly kind, and I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world. I thought she looked just like Wonder Woman because she had jet black hair that was curly, and it was back in 80s. So she had that
curls were
the
in.
beautiful curls. They were not natural, but she had perfect rows that went down. And I just thought she was the greatest. But she did read to us quite a bit, and that was kind of one of my starts into a love of reading. And she was very pro letting kids read what they wanted to read as opposed to forcing them to read, because it's directly on their age level. And I've always been one that I would read just a little bit above what I was supposed to be reading at, and so she didn't discourage me from doing that because I was in the first grade, so it was a good thing. But she was a very, very kind lady and made me like school from the get-go, I think, and that's probably, I don't know, maybe why I ended up a librarian too. All that love of reading was instilled early on, so yeah.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, I think she is actually, or was at one time, a principal in Boyle County now. So, Mrs. Jones, if you watch this and you're out there, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you to all of our teachers out there who helped
Yes.
us through life and helped to form our little brains and minds and get us on the road to good education.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
This is Yvonne, and I'm with Tiffany. How you doing, Tiffany?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm good. And Tiffany, who was your favorite school teacher?
My favorite school teacher was Miss Chilikoff. I had her in first grade.
Okay. And first grade teachers are always special, aren't they?
Yes, she touched me in a special way. She's always was very nice, and she always motivated me to do what I needed to do, and was very, very inspiring.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what are some of the things that she taught you in first grade?
Of course, first grade, she taught me how to, of course, read and write. And, of course, she's always taught me to be myself, no matter what, because of my height. She always taught me to embrace my height and just go on with it.
Okay, just go on with it. Fantastic. Great advice, huh?
Yes, it was.
Same advice you'd probably give to your kids.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
All right, thank you all.
You're very welcome. Hi, this is Yvonne, and I'm with David. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing good.
Okay. David, who was your favorite school teacher?
My favorite school teacher was Miss Hester Smith.
Hester Smith.
My father had her as a teacher, and I had her as a teacher, and she was just a wonderful teacher. And I remember I was in fourth grade, and after school was over, I went back and helped her clean up, and what I remember is she brought in some fried chicken for us.
That sounds
And
wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Teachers don't get much better than that, do they?
No, they don't either. Great school. And
Was there an occasion for it, or?
there was no occasion. I just went back and helped her clean up the room after school was over. And she just brought some fried chicken in for us to eat. And because it's down there most of the day. So, and
Now, what county was this in?
it was in Marion County down at Lebanon Elementary.
Okay, fantastic. Wow. And what are some of the classes that you had in fourth grade? What did you learn?
In fourth grade, let's see, we had math and reading and writing, because back in my day, we had to write and, read and do math and, let's see,
Little science,
little science
little
and
history.
geography and history.
Yeah. All those wonderful classes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, how do you think she affected your life?
Um,
What qualities did she have?
I think that her qualities were that I think once she got to know you and she cared about you, you were her student, you were her boy and girl, because she wasn't married, and she didn't have any children. I think the children in the school became her children, and I think she loved you. You give you a hug, and she'd also get after you if you was misbehaved. So, and in my day, they could get after you good.
Yeah, okay.
And but that was fine because you learned to be respectful, and you learned not to be bad. And she was just a wonderful lady.
Well, fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This has been Yvonne McNary with Central Kentucky Television, giving kudos to all of our teachers in Central Kentucky.